My name is Cleophas Mandela. I'm a sculptor artist, born and raised here in Nairobi. Being a sculptor means you're working in 3D form. I usually work using plasticine, then I later on cast. Casting is a process where you transfer the plasticine into a harder material. So I end up finishing my works in fiberglass or resin or maybe bronze. 3D, actually, we are partnering with Cheryl Nagawa. It's a company that does 3D sort of works. So we venture into wall murals, we do relief sculptures, we do sculptures. So it's a group of young people, me and Cheryl, plus we have another partner. It's called Oni. He's the one who does like the sort of technical side of things. We are three, hence 3D. Partly I went to school, then partly it's self-taught. I have an art background. My father is a sculptor, a well-known sculptor. He's Loko Shotondula. He's the one who did the Boya statue. I went to KU for 1 year, then I dropped out. Then after that, I started now doing my own sort of sculpting. I started doing relief art. Then little by little, I found myself doing now 3D sculpting. My dad, he is my mentor. So while growing up, there are some things I used to see him do, and until now when I'm old, there are some things we are actually partnering in doing. I do pay homage because he's the one who's trained me in this skill, and I'm trying to now break away from people now associating me with my works with my dad's work, because people always say like, oh, that's your dad's work, but in real sense it's my work. And maybe he also does, maybe he shows some people my work and people now think maybe it's his. Because of course, there's no cut. no one can differentiate my work and his work. Yeah. So I'm trying to break away from that and now being my own. This one for Bob. Started out with a sketch and plus reference photos of how he used to look like, because of course people do age with time, and right now you can see me like this, but maybe in 2 years time I might look different. Today I have beards, maybe tomorrow I don't have beards. So it has to start with a sketch and maybe reference photos, but for this case we had a lot of reference photos, and we came up with the ideal sort of age where we wanted to portray Bob to be. So after that, doing the sketch, then now there's the molding. So there's a process of where now you create it out of plasticine. Then after you've completed it in plasticine, is now you put in the silicone mold to get now everything. It's like baking. So when you have the tray, different trays of cupcakes. So putting the silicone is now me creating the trays for cupcakes. Then now I pour in the resin. Then after pouring in the resin is where now I get the cast. So the cast is usually made out of fiberglass, and that's when now you can actually do the finish. You can either decide to paint it or maybe just glaze it, depending on how you want it to be. the athletes in Eldoret, was in Gishu County. I was commissioned back in 2016 to represent athletes, Kenya athletes running around the globe, like world domination. So I think that would be like one of my sort of pride, something that I have within the country, being actually the first sculpture in that town, actually a monument. Lions at the roundabout at Uru Highway and the one at Nairobi University roundabout. So there was that outcry about the Sonko Lions, which were, I think he sort of bought it from some place, and people were against those sort of sculptures. So I had to alliance together with my dad to actually do the whole roundabout and replace the old lions with these now new ones. Last year has been good for us because we decided to form a company. It's called 3D Exhibition. We used to get a lot of church works. So I can say we've done a lot of church works. I got a marketer who actually goes and scouts for like these jobs. Especially now last year when I started to embark on church projects, I had to engage a marketer who will like go and scout for like sculpting jobs, like doing the crosses, like the crucifix and all that. Yeah, it has sort of touched me because I was actually in a seminary school. So being in a seminary school, being in a Catholic sort of setup, it's sort of me. It's like a way of me giving back. I've been doing exhibitions, these pop-up exhibitions, but I usually do it in a period of after 4 years. So my last exhibition was in 2016. So I'm expected to do an exhibition this year, just to show my audience how much I've improved. 2012, I did an exhibition. It was called Art and Beer Fest. That was my first sort of exhibition where I introduced my audience to now the relief art. And prior to that, in between I did like another pop-up, which was in Kisumu, but still on the same sort of line. But then the one in 2016, I collaborated with Richard Njogu, where we did a collaborative sort of exhibition. And I showed my audience how much I've improved from the time I started. So I had another sort of like eye on my works. This year I'm expecting to do one because I'm trying to sort of honor the Kenyans and non-Kenyans who have actually impacted much on our society, and in terms of, especially even in the art industry. So I'm trying to do pieces of bust of people, or maybe even sort of just a mix, to show like appreciation of the people who've impacted on our society. Hence, usikuja utafute pesa. Utachoka. They feel like ati ukikuja, when I do this sort of work, I'll get money. But it doesn't work that way. You have to show people that this sort of work deserve this money. So pesa itakuja. Jidevelop. Ni kama venye you got to do a degree. Unaambiwa soma, unatoka nje unaasa. It's the same thing, yeah. We don't sort of appreciate our history sort of take. So, for these other countries, especially the first world countries, they tend to preserve their history by putting up monuments to remind them of how things used to be then, you know. But for us, we do have the Kenyatta and Tomboya and the Dankemathi, the soldiers. But then now if you go down in history, we are also rich in history, but we don't tend to, like, the government doesn't tend to like preserve it, like put a reminder where it doesn't have to be like sculptures, but also paintings and all that, just to remind the public that we also have this sort of history, like we came from this point, now we are here. So I think it's more of prioritizing, sort of, yeah. Dues. I think just practicing. Just keep on practicing. Challenge yourself. Like, don't be comfortable where you are. It's a learning process. I'm also learning. I haven't said I'm fixative on this sort of art, because when I started from scratch. I did pencil work, I went to painting, I ventured into sculpting, now a whole field, because there's relief, and then now there's the 3D sculpting. So I'll say, like, it's a process. Just continue practicing, don't settle, challenge yourself, like do other forms of art, like see how you can combine all this into like something else. I'm seeing where maybe you can combine maybe sculpting into maybe paintings, into maybe other things. The future is good. I think more and more people are trying, actually appreciating art, because you find most organizations, they are actually commissioning other artists to do works of art, which is actually good. And I'm feeling like people are more receptive to now artists. Like it's not like kitambo where you're told like, oh, unachora, ama unachoranga matatu, ama, you know. But at least now people are trying, actually appreciating the art, which is actually growing, which is good. I'm saying probably if we had like a place where like that sort of Madame Tussauds setup, where you have like sculptures of, or wax sculptures of people. So I'm seeing like maybe we'll head there. So we have like wax figures of maybe heroes, heroines of Kenyans who have done in like sort of good things in the country. Develop your skill and be constant and practice more, you know. Don't put money first, because a lot of people walk into this industry thinking they'll get like money, but in real sense you have to develop your skills, and your skill set has to be like on the top notch, then money will come later. If you want to get me, I'm on Facebook. I'm at Cleophas Mandela Ondula. On Instagram, I'm at Cleophas Ondula. Those are my handles.